it do? It's your girl Zen with another episode of Close One. Today, I am so humbled and I'm so delighted. It has been a long time coming. I get to interview one of my really good friends and colleagues, someone that I've looked up to for a really long time. He smashed it at Yelp, been in President's Club for 4 years in a row, and also still crushing it at his new position at Trinet. He's now 2 Presidents Club in, and we have one goal here at Close One. It is to spotlight hardworking individuals, stellar account executives such as Phillip Alvarado. He has made such a contribution in the world and in the sales technology that we just want the world to know all the pains, all the struggles, all the wins. Most importantly, we've been in the front lines for a really long time, and it is about time that the world gets to understand and learn more about the account executive process. Without further ado, here is my man, Phillip Alvarado. Phillip, how have you been?
I've been well, Shani. It's crazy to think how far we've come in such a short amount of time, but it's a pleasure to be on your show with you and to chat with you. So thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah, it's a humble show. I have a viewer of 10. Actually, we just hit our 500 subscribers, and I'm so happy to kick off this new episode this year, which is to really spotlight the hard workers, the frontliners, the soldiers, the ninjas, those that just, crush it. So Phillip, tell us, what have you been up to since the last time we've worked together at Yelp?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. I transitioned away from Yelp in, I think it was January 2016, to take an opportunity with a company called Trinet. We're an outsourced HR platform for SMB companies, for them to get out of the weeds when it comes to payroll, benefits, HR, workers' comp, and compliance. We really make life easier for a company to just focus on what they're good at and what they need to know. So I took this opportunity January 2016, and it's been a wild ride. The craziest part about being in a role like this is you have to know a lot about everything. So not only do I know about HR, about benefits, about payroll, about payroll compliance, you name it, we have to kind of know about it so we can advise on our clients as much as possible. I had a very interesting start when I first transitioned over to Trinet. I didn't have the full support, so it was a lot of learning on the go. But then actually Trinet had made some internal switches and changes, and I got some incredible leaders put in place and helped me develop my career and my skill set here at Trinet. So it's been incredible. This is the start of my 4th year here. I hit my quota for my year 1. Year 2, I hit President's Club. Year 3, I hit President's Club. And I'm actually halfway there to my President's Club I'm actually like 90% there for President's Club for next year already. And our year just started in January.
No doubt. One of my favorite things to do coming in at Yelp, one of my favorite memories is literally whenever I walked in, I would always see you on the phone. You would never talk to anyone. You're just constantly walking back and forth like a shark, just giving your all, your heart, your passion to whoever was on the other side of that line. Tell me, Phillip, how did you get started as an AE?
That's a great question, and I actually think it kind of goes back to when I was in college. I started a gay nightclub at UC Berkeley in conjunction with starting a gay fraternity there, and I needed to get people there. So I was out promoting the nightclub, trying to get as many people as possible to attend, because that's how I was going to make money. From there, once I graduated, I had an incredible opportunity to be the nightclub, a nightclub marketing director for a place called Club Dragon, Club 8 in San Francisco. It was my job to get 300 to 500 people there every weekend So I would be standing out in the rain, passing out flyers, putting flyers on people's cars, getting my friends to pass out flyers for me, just hustling, constantly hustling to get as many people as possible to know about what I'm working on. And then from there, one of my best friends, Andrew Serta, told me about an opportunity at Yelp. And I was like, well, I like to talk. I like to meet people. I hustle. So I think that this would be really fun and a good opportunity. So I ended up transitioning over to Yelp January 2011. And it was just like a match made in heaven. As long as you do the work, as long as you have conviction, and as long as you control the controllable, you can succeed. I look at other people's jobs nowadays and I'm like, why would you ever be in a job where people tell you how much money you're going to make? You know, I want to dictate how much money I'm going to make. And I think that's the coolest part about being a sales executive, account executive.
Yeah. Shout out to Andrew Serta for making that impact in your life. I love Andrew Serta. He's the most charming, disarming person I've ever met at Yelp. Tell me, how did you get your first client at Yelp? It was so hard back then. I mean, we didn't have all these crazy automation tools, no inbound leads. Literally everything was outbound. Tell me, how was that like? How did you feel when you closed your first client? But more importantly, how did you get that client to close?
Yeah, so I think that first of all, it was the first weeks on the phone, and it was competition, right? Cassandra Anderson and I were in the same class with like a girl named Erica and some other people that are still around. Tip Hicks was our training manager. Michaela Sherman was our training manager. So it was really competitive. Whoever could close the first deal. And then not only close the first deal, but whoever can close the biggest deal. So funny enough, my first week on the phones at Yelp, I cold called a Indian restaurant in Rancho Cucamonga. I ended up getting his location signed up with Yelp, and then he had a second location. So I ended up signing up 2 deals in my first closed cold call. And it was pretty awesome. I think that I trusted the process, you know. The good thing about a great training program is you just got to do what they tell you, have conviction, do it right, and then it's going to execute on its own. The other crazy part is about that deal is that I sounded like a robot instead of just relaxing, you know, making it my own, follow the script, but don't sound like a robot and, you know, have that conviction. I think that's what changed. Also, the gentleman just told me it was my persistence. He was like, you called every single day. Yeah, I keep telling you to call every 20 minutes and you keep calling every 20 minutes. So, you know, if people tell you to keep calling, you're just fulfilling your end of what they requested. You know, you're not a hassle. You're just doing what they told you to do. So I think that that's how I did my first deal at Yelp, and it was an awesome win. And I think I closed the most revenue that week over my teammates.
Of all cities, Rancho Cucamonga,
Rancho Cucamonga.
Wow, there was literally no Yelp in those other cities. You had to build that community. Did that particular zip code, did they start to know who Phillip Alvarado was?
I believe that the restaurants did, because one thing that I've always been a fan of is once you get one logo, you go and get another logo. You go and get another logo. Like, bring them on, make your brand associated with their brand. So it's almost like, hey, I work with all these cool cats. Do you want to be in on this, or do you want to not be in on this? So kind of making that FOMO happen for them.
Yeah, tell me more about this FOMO. Because this also applies to the B2B. I mean, you'll see a lot of companies putting the logo salad on their website. Tell me what this approach was with brick and mortar stores. I have a few friends right now building a restaurant software company, and they're trying to get so many restaurants. It's so hard because there's literally advertisers, Yelp and Groupon and Living Social just coming after them.
Yeah.
What sets you apart? Why did they sign up with you?
I think it's like, and it kind of goes to one of my, Yeah, so it kind of goes to one of my other stories is like, be available, be the consultant, don't be the seller. Sell to somebody like you would be selling to your family. Treat that person like they're your mom, and you're going to do whatever's in their best interest. I think that automatically gets this salesman idea out of the conversation. And I'm just Phillip Alvarado, someone here to make sure that you're running your business the most efficient way possible, that you're doing the best you can. By going after logos and going after certain kind of businesses, you're already kind of giving yourself some validation and some credibility in the fact that I've done this before. You know, right now in my current role, I can jump on the phone and say, I've signed up 250 other companies. They're tech companies, they're international companies, they're companies that have been around for a while, whatever the case is. But I'm not new to this. You may be new to this idea, and I'm here to walk you through it so you get the best understanding and have a seamless onboarding or experience with me. So in terms of actionable, I just say, make it consistent, be persistent, follow through, always follow through with what you say. If you said, I'm going to send you an email by the end of the day, that email better be in their inbox at the end of the day, because they don't need to question your reliability. You need to prove to them how capable you are to earn their business.
Nice. I'm going to switch it up here. So let's pretend I'm a 3-star business at Yelp. You're trying to close me, Phillip, and I'm pissed off because I have a 3-star and there's these 2 spammers writing a negative review. How do you appease? How do you help me switch my paradigm?
Well, Shani, the deal about the reviews is they're always going to be there. They're always going to be coming and going. So we can focus on something that we can control, or we can take the reins and control the controllable. So if you want to sit here and only talk about reviews, it's not going to be the best use of either of our times. And I'd love to, wish you the best of luck, give you some feedback on how you can combat it, or we can chat about how we can make your business grow. And if I know your industry and if I know the kind of entrepreneur you are, I'm sure you want to talk about the latter. So let's chat about that, because these 2 reviews can be completely irrelevant in a month. If you give me the opportunity to bring in 100 new diners that leave you incredible reviews that attest to what you're doing at your location. So what kind of conversation do you want to have here? Because I'm more than happy to help you on the review side, and I'm even more excited to help you on bringing in more business and changing your overall reputation on Yelp in the long run.
And mic drop. That is how Phillip Alvarado gets things done. It's that question of what is more important to you, things that you cannot control or things that you can control. I'm giving you the chance to get my consulting services so that we can get foot traffic through the door. And you know what? The reviews really, it's out of your control. That's the past. So, man, that's really good advice. And speaking of advice, what is the best advice ever given to you?
One is, if you never lie, you never have to remember what you said. So just always tell the truth. If you don't know something, say you don't know and go get the answer, instead of being that person that's the yes man or yes woman. And then lastly, I mentioned it earlier, treat the prospect like they're your family. If you treat them with respect, if you treat them as an equal, then they're gonna level to your playing field. In my world, in the HR world now, in payroll world, workers' comp, I can talk all these high level things, but if I'm talking to someone that doesn't understand, it doesn't make any impact to them. So it really is about making sure that always tell the truth. Say if you don't know something, say you don't know it, and then treat them like you want your family to be treated.
Amazing. Now we come to the end of the show, and we're gonna play a little game with our viewers. Get a little interactive here to get some comments below. 2 truths and a lie. Phillip, tell us 2 truths and a lie, and we're gonna have our viewers guess which one is a lie.
All right, 2 truths and a lie. My biggest commission check was over $60,000. I sold Yelp advertising to Lisa Vanderpump from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Or at 24 years old, I was making over 300K.
Oh, wow.
Those are my two truths and a lie. So you got to figure that out.
That's amazing. Oh my God. I have a guess. I will tell you off record, but that is it for us. Thank you. Phillip, you're freaking crushing it. I have no doubt you're going to crush it in any endeavor you put your heart and your intellectual mind into, because I know how caring you are. It's funny because Phillip and I have never actually talked about work. We never worked together.
Sure.
We smoke a cigarette and just vent and get back to work, heads down. That's pretty much the name of the game, is who can out activity each
Hustle.
other. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, thank you for joining our really humble show. This is the humble beginnings at Close One. But that is it for us. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please comment below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And we are out. Peace.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you.